Uh, Good morning, happy Thursday, everyone. And I'm just gonna say right now, we just had the biggest upset of the season for the Masked Singer. I truly think that was the biggest upset last night. I'll get to that momentarily. Let's see, my low, my high, my act of kindness. What my low be? I mean, I guess I am feeling a little bit guilty about there was something I wanted to do. Oh, here's the thing. There was something that was going on yesterday, but ultimately I decided not to go do it. I am feeling a little bit regretful about it. I mean, yeah, I would have known my mom and dad like longer, but I was going to see him eventually anyway, so I guess, that part worked out. My high is, got to see my family, had dinner with my folks. My mom made breakfast for dinner. We'll talk about that in a second. And, of course, the Masked Singer, which, again, that was the biggest upset I've ever seen. And my act of kindness was I emptied the dishwasher and filled the dishwasher, and I also emptied the dehumidifier for my dad. So, did a couple acts of kindness yesterday. So, for starters, yeah, we had breakfast for dinner. It was really cool. My mom, usually when my mom makes breakfast for dinner, it's usually one of two options. It's either like, bacon, pancakes, and if you want like a fried egg, maybe some sausage, again, breakfast dinner. In a way, kind of like the Grand Slam at Penny's, if you want to compare it to anything. But, or what happened last night, my mom would make a egg scramble, and she'll make bacon, of course, and toast, which is what we had. It was actually really cool, too, because I was able to make a breakfast sandwich out of it. That was really cool. Even better, there was leftover tortillas from when we had tacos on Tuesday, so I made myself a breakfast taco. So yeah, I had a breakfast sandwich and I had a breakfast taco. Feeling pretty good about that. But okay, let's get into the Masked Singer quarterfinals, Final Four. I've been saying so far it was the biggest upset of the season. I will be getting to that momentarily. But first, now that it's the Final Four, there's no more themes. Like, it really does feel as if every singer has come out and sang whatever it is they're good at. So it seems like if you can just make it to the quarterfinals or whatever the format is they decide to do, you can sing whatever you want. You gotta sing with a theme for up until then, but looks like you gotta do a okay. Sorry, I'm just looking at the schedule. Anyway, so let's see, where do I even start? I guess I'll start with the opener. There wasn't any. There was no song that led anything. There was no group song from the contestants. We pretty much just jumped right in, which honestly I'm glad we did it that way. Like, don't get me wrong, having like an intro song where like all four of the quarterfinalists were there, or maybe the panel did something. No, this is the quarterfinals. We're jumping right in. We're gonna get things started. Let's go. And we started with the Group C champion, The Clock, doing Get On Your Feet by Gloria Estefan, who I already knew right away she was gonna move on. Next one, please. Gumball did actually one of my favorite songs ever, I'm Yours by Jason Mraz, which I tell you what, Gumball is peaking and peaking and peaking with each passing episode. And then we did the Poodle Moth, who did another one of my favorite songs, Price Tag by Jessie J, which, okay, let's get into some confession time. The first time I ever heard Price Tag by Jessie J wasn't actually on the radio or the song itself. In fact, I probably heard the song for the first time years after it first came out. And my first instance of hearing that song is in the finale of the first Pitch Perfect movie. Which, one of these days I really need to do a movies on Pitch Perfect. Just the first one, because I'm not going to watch the other two. Partly because, I'm sure they're fine. But also, come on, man. Why would you ever have your sequel come out the same weekend as Mad Max Fury Road? Yeah, you wound up grossing more that weekend, but I watched Mad Max Fury Road for a reason. But that's a story for another day. So, Poodle Moth and Price Tag by Jessie J. Here's what I noticed, and this is actually something that ultimately cost Poodle Moth really getting a mask, because that's the upset. Poodle Moth kind of seemed like she was holding back a little bit. Like, she could clearly sing the song, she was in tune, she could phrase the melody, she could do all that, she was phenomenal. But it seems as if she was singing more softly than we'd seen her sing in the past. Maybe she was under the weather. Maybe she couldn't take whoever it was. Obviously I know it's on the mask. I just said that she got a mask. Maybe it was whoever the contestant was, just couldn't be under the mask anymore. So maybe she's like, okay, I'll put effort into this, but I don't plan on sticking around much longer. But before I get into what happened in the SmackDown, let's get into the Goldfish, who did Unforgettable by Nat King Cole. And it was so funny too, because when I heard Clock and Goldfish, I knew right away they were going to go on to the semifinals. No question. I knew they were going to go to the semifinals. It was funny because my mom really likes the Gumball. So my mom thought it was the Goldfish and the Gumball. But no, I wanted to be right. It was Clock and Goldfish. So, listen, at this point, yeah, Gumball wound up winning the SmackDown, which really bothered me because, you know what, I really wanted the Poodle Moth I wanted a Clock Poodle Moth rematch, and we're never going to get it. Oh, so much, I do kind of get why. I guess you gotta have at least one guy in the semifinals, I suppose. But come on, it would have been really cool to see like an all-female semifinal. Seriously, who wouldn't want to see that? But alas, it's not meant to be. Both the Poodle Moth and Gumball did If I Could Turn Back Time by Cher for the SmackDown. And man, I tell you what, it's not like the Gumball was that much better than the Poodle Moth, but the Poodle Moth felt like either she was holding back or she just didn't really want to be in the competition anymore, because that really should have been hers to win. It really should have been hers to lose. Yeah, whatever. Poodle Moth should have won, but she didn't. It made me sad. Arguably the most adorable looking costume of the remaining finalists, and now it's gone. What can I say? I like the Poodle Moth. It's funny. Like, when the Poodle Moth was first introduced a couple weeks ago, her little intro, introduction to who she was, she's like, I bet you had no idea what a Poodle Moth is. Neither did I at first. Like, no one knows what a Poodle Moth is. Yeah, I'm going to look at what a Poodle Moth looks like right now. Poodle Moth. That's what the pool moth looks like. Then this wailing poodle moth. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, man. That actually looks really cute. It is. I mean, it's still. Here's the thing. If you're the kind of person who's grossed out by bugs, I don't think what a poodle moth looks like is gonna sway you in the other direction. But I think it looks kind of cute as far as bugs go. Me personally, I like admiring bugs from afar, rather than actually having a bug as like a pet or a bug like crawling on me. I mean, if I was like with an expert on like bugs, like an entomologist or a zoologist or whatever kind of person who deals and trains with bugs is, and like they were, okay, we're gonna put this giant Hercules beetle on your arm. It's okay. It's not gonna hurt you. We're gonna, let it crawl and see what it does. Like, if I knew that going in, like, I'm with an expert, clearly they would know what would happen if anything went wrong. Like, if I was with an expert and surrounded by some other people, I'd be fine. Like, I think that's why, like, people are creeped out by bugs sometimes. Like, you seem that, like, if you're alone with a bug, okay, that's scary. But if you're, like surrounded by other people, it doesn't really seem so scary. I mean, it would still feel kind of creepy if the bug was like crawling on you, but it'd feel less so because you're actually surrounded by other people who'd help you if anything went wrong. At least that's my theory. But that was just a long-winded way of saying poodle moths actually look cute, and sadly the poodle moth lost in the SmackDown last night, which makes me feel sad. Truly it does. So, I suppose you guys want to know who the poodle moth was. It was one Chrissy Metz of This Is Us fame, which Jenny McCarthy got it right. She guessed it was Chrissy Metz, and she was right. And I love when Nick Cannon asked Chrissy, like, why did The Masked Singer? And Chrissy's been like, well, I've been trying to educate people on the fact that I can sing, and this is just my way to show it. Well, homegirl, you showed it. You absolutely can sing. It's just, I mean, seriously, like, maybe I'm a prisoner of the moment. But we really should be having, like, it should be an all-female, let's be honest, Gumball was fine. I don't hate Gumball at all, but come on. Up until last night, it was really looking like we were going to have a Group C rematch between the Poodle Moth and the Clock. Or maybe the Goldfish could probably pull out a win between one and two. But right now, it looks like the final is going to be, I mean, congratulations to the Gumball. This is probably like the third or fourth SmackDown you've won. Right? Actually, including Battle Royale, this is the first like battle is like the third or fourth battle you won. So congratulations. But I think this week is as far as you go. Because you got to be pulling off a miracle to beat one of them next week. And you're actually expected to beat listen, I'm sure that whoever is rooting for the Gumball to win this whole thing, I'm glad that your guy made it to the semifinals. And I guess we have a true champion semifinal as all three contestants were the champions of each of their own respective groups. You know, Goldfish was the champion of Group A, Gumball was the champion of Group B, and Clock is the champion of Group C. So you guys have a true champion semifinal. That's all well and good. However, it's just sad that, I just feel bad for the Poodle. I really do. But, yeah, barring some kind of miracle, I don't see anyone in that finale except Clock and the Goldfish. I mean, listen, Gumball has been doing like a magical Cinderella run. He really has. And that's to be admired. But I'm pretty sure the clock's going to strike midnight next week. Of course, I could be wrong. But we'll have to play it and see. Biggest upset of the season. I feel bad I also feel bad because the Poodle Month was like the person that Rita rang the Ding Dong Keep It On bell for. Like, if I was on The Masked Singer and I somehow wound up being saved via Ding Dong Keep It On, like, at that point I would think, okay, this is destiny. I'm gonna win this thing. Like, that should be the mindset going in. But that's just me. In the end, it was a good episode. The semifinals are going to be really, really good. Then there were 3. So it looks like we're going to have a true champion semifinal, which is awesome. I hope you like this video. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very homely in this video. For all of you guys who are watching, enjoy for them. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thursday. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk, channel, always be here to let me know. Always be back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.